Replay the conversation because part of you is still standing in that moment, waiting for something to change. It's late. The room is quiet. Your phone is face down. And suddenly the words come back. Not loudly, softly, like someone whispering from another room. You hear what they said. You hear what you said. You hear what you didn't say. And your chest tightens just a little. You tell yourself you're just thinking. Just remembering. But it doesn't feel neutral. It feels unfinished. You rewind the moment. Again and again. You imagine different tones, different pauses, different versions of you, the version who spoke slower, the version who sounded calmer, the version who didn't laugh it off, the version who said the thing that stayed stuck in your throat. You don't replay it because you like pain. You replay it because somewhere inside you, your mind believes there is a missing frame. Something that if found would finally let you rest. And what's strange is how real it feels. Your body reacts like it's happening now. Your jaw tightens, your stomach drops, your breathing changes, you're not remembering, you're re-entering, you see their face, you hear the silence between words. You feel that tiny shift where the energy changed. That's the part that won't let go. Because that's where you started asking questions. Did they mean that? Did I sound stupid? Why did they pause like that? Why did I say it that way? And beneath all those questions is a quieter one. You don't say out loud. Did I mess something up? That question echoes longer than the conversation ever lasted. You tell yourself it's over. You tell yourself it doesn't matter. But your mind keeps circling like it's protecting something fragile. Because to you, moments aren't just moments. They're signals, they're clues, they're evidence. You learned at some point that small interactions could change how safe you are with someone. A tone shift, a delayed reply, a look that lingered half a second too long. So now your mind watches everything, records everything, replays everything. Not to torture you, to prevent loss. You replay conversations because you're trying to understand what wasn't said. What was hidden? What might come later? Your mind is always a few steps ahead, scanning for future regret. If I had said this, maybe they wouldn't pull away. If I hadn't said that, maybe things would feel normal right now. So you go back. Again. It often happens at night, because that's when the world stops distracting you. No messages coming in. No noise to interrupt the thoughts. Just you. And the space where that conversation lives. During the day, you can outrun it. At night, it catches up. You lie there, staring at the ceiling, replaying not just words, but meanings. The meaning behind their smile. The meaning behind your silence. The meaning behind the way it ended. And the hardest part isn't even what happened. It's the uncertainty. If someone had said, clearly I'm upset, or I don't care, or everything's fine, your mind might rest, but ambiguity feels dangerous to you. So you try to solve it. You replay the moment like a detective watching the same security footage, hoping one more viewing will reveal the truth. But the truth keeps shifting. Every replay adds a new interpretation, a new fear, a new possibility. And slowly, you stop asking what they meant. You start asking what it says about you. Maybe I'm too much. Maybe I came across wrong. Maybe I should have known better. That's when the loop deepens. Because now, it's not just about the conversation. It's about your worth inside it. You imagine future conversations that haven't happened yet. You practice responses in your head. You rehearse explanations. You defend yourself against arguments no one has made. Your mind builds entire dialogues in the dark, not because you want conflict, but because you want control. If you can predict every outcome, maybe you won't be caught off guard. Maybe you won't feel that sudden drop again. That feeling where something feels off and you don't know why. You felt that before, and it taught you to pay attention. So now you pay attention to everything, the way your voice sounded, the timing of your reply. The moment they looked away, your mind keeps asking, what did I miss? But here's the quiet part no one tells you. You're not replaying the conversation to change the past. You're replaying it because part of you is still emotionally there. Still waiting for reassurance that never came. Still hoping for a different ending. Still wanting to feel settled. There's a version of you in that moment who didn't get what they needed. So your mind goes back to check on them over and over. It's not weakness, it's attachment to resolution. You don't like loose ends. You don't like unspoken tension. You don't like walking away without understanding where you stand, so you stay. Mentally, even when your body has moved on. That's why the replay feels exhausting. Because you're carrying unfinished emotional business in your head. And no matter how many times you replay it, the ending doesn't change. But the feeling does. It gets heavier. You start feeling tired, not just physically, but deep inside. Like your thoughts have been running all night without you. You notice how quiet the room is, yet how loud your mind feels. You wonder why something so small feels so big. Why one conversation can steal your sleep. Why you can't just let it go like other people seem to. But this isn't about letting go, it's about safety. At some point you learned that understanding moments meant survival. That reading between the lines kept you connected. That staying alert prevented abandonment, conflict, or shame. So now your mind stays alert, even when it's tired. Especially when it's tired, because nighttime feels vulnerable. There's no one to perform for, no one to distract, no one to reassure you in real time, just you and your thoughts. And those thoughts go back to what still feels unresolved. You replay conversations because your mind doesn't trust silence. Silence feels like something bad could be forming, so you fill it with analysis. You fill it with imagined outcomes. You fill it with words that already happened. At least those are familiar, even if they hurt. There's comfort in knowing exactly how something hurt. Uncertainty hurts differently. It stretches. It lingers. It keeps the door open. And you hate open doors at night. So you replay. Not because you enjoy it, but because it feels safer than not knowing. And yet, there's a moment, usually very late, when the replay slows. The questions lose their sharpness, your body feels heavy, and for a second, you notice something. You notice that no new answers are coming. That the conversation has given you everything it's going to give. And maybe, just maybe, the reason it keeps returning isn't because you missed something. It's because you're asking it to give you peace. And it can't. That doesn't mean you failed. It means you were looking for rest in the wrong place. The conversation is done, but the feeling it stirred is still asking to be felt, not solved, just felt. And when you let yourself notice that, even briefly, something softens. The replay loses a bit of its grip, not because you forced it away, but because you finally see why it was there. You weren't trying to punish yourself. You were trying to protect something tender inside you, something that just wanted to know was okay. And as you lie there, listening to the quiet again, you might feel a small release. Not clarity, not certainty, just a gentle understanding that your mind was doing its best. That you don't need to replay it perfectly tonight, that the moment has passed, and you're still here, breathing. Safe enough to rest, even if the answers never came, even if the conversation stays unfinished. You don't have to finish it right now. You can let the room be quiet again. And let yourself be here, just here, for this moment. Nothing to replay, nothing to fix. Just the slow return to stillness. And maybe for the first time tonight, your thoughts don't feel like they're chasing something. They feel like they're finally allowed to stop.